Ever feel like airports are designed to be confusing on purpose? Like someone somewhere wanted to make this whole travel thing as stressful as possible? Yeah, me too. And guess what? Turns out we're not entirely wrong. See, I've been digging deep, spending way too much time in airports, talking to travelers, airline staff, TSA agents, you name it. And you know what I found? A whole bunch of secrets, loopholes, and straight-up BS that airlines and airports don't want you to know. From little-known VIP perks that can get you through security faster to hidden spots where you can actually get some sleep on a layover, we're exposing 12 insane airport secrets that could change the way you travel forever. If you fly even once a year, you need to know this stuff. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks. Alright, let's talk TSA scanners. We've all been there. Shoes off, hands up, hoping that metal detector doesn't start screaming. These machines look straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? And we assume they can see everything. Like everything. Word on the street is these scanners can detect anything, from a loose paperclip to, well, let's just say stuff that's better left unsaid. But here's the truth. It's not entirely foolproof. These scanners are high-tech, no doubt, but they're designed for dense objects. Think metal, electronics, that kind of thing. But things like thin paper, cash, or even some types of plastic, they don't always show up. Before you get any ideas, just because something doesn't always show up doesn't mean you should try sneaking it through. I mean, do you really want to be that guy? TSA takes this stuff seriously. And trust me, the last place you want to be is in that little security room with a bunch of agents grilling you. Even something innocent, like a tissue in your pocket, can flag a secondary screening. And nobody wants that hassle. So here's the real secret. Want to speed through security? Follow the rules, empty your pockets, and keep it moving. Ever wonder why some lucky travelers always seem to get their bags first at baggage claim? I'm talking about those smug-looking folks who waltz right up to the carousel just as their suitcase magically appears. Well, it's not always because they're flying first class. Here's a little secret the airlines don't want you to know. If you check in last minute, like right before the gate closes, your bag often ends up loaded onto the plane last. And guess what? Last on, first off. It's simple physics, people. Now, I'm not saying you should cut it close every time you fly, but if you're running late anyway, you might just get lucky at baggage claim. Of course, there's another way to play the system. Many airlines offer something called priority baggage for first class and elite travelers. But here's the real hack. Some airports give this priority treatment to people who simply ask nicely. No joke. The next time you check in, flash your biggest smile and ask if there's any chance of getting your bag tagged for priority. You never know, a little kindness could go a long way. Alright, let's talk about something we all use at the airport. Water fountains. They seem harmless enough, right? Free water, convenient, what's not to like? Well, I hate to break it to you, but airport water fountains might be one of the dirtiest secrets in the terminal. I'm talking about bacteria, germs, the whole 9 yards. Think about it. Thousands of people pass through airports every day, touching those fountains, refilling their bottles. And how often do you think those things get a deep clean? Yeah, not as often as you'd hope. There was actually a study that found some airport water fountains and refill stations have more bacteria than airplane bathrooms. Let that sink in for a minute. Look, I get it. Staying hydrated is important, especially when you're traveling. But you don't want to do it at the expense of your health. So, what's the solution? Simple, ditch the water fountain and ask for a refill at a coffee shop or restaurant. Most places will happily fill up your reusable bottle with filtered water for free. It's a small change that could make a big difference in your health. Airport lounges. They're not just for the 1%. Let's be honest, airport lounges have a bit of a reputation, right? Those exclusive, luxurious oases in the middle of the chaos. We see them in movies, we hear people brag about them, but for most of us, they seem completely out of reach. Like, you need to be a millionaire rock star to get past those velvet ropes, right? Wrong. Here's the truth. Airport lounges aren't just for the rich and famous. In fact, many lounges sell day passes to anyone willing to pay. And the price? It's often way less than you think. We're talking like $20-30 sometimes. For that, you get comfy chairs, free snacks, drinks, Wi-Fi, maybe even a shower. Think about it. That's cheaper than a meal at some airports. But wait, it gets better. If you've got the right credit card, you might not even have to pay for a day pass. Cards like the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Amex Platinum often give you free lounge access, even if you're flying economy. So next time you're facing a long layover, ditch the crowded gate and treat yourself to a little luxury. You deserve it. The empty water bottle hack, your secret weapon for free hydration. All right, let's talk about everyone's least favorite part of airport security, the liquids rule. You know the drill? 3.4 ounces or less, gotta fit in a tiny Ziploc bag, it's a whole thing. But here's a secret that can save you some serious cash and keep you hydrated throughout your trip. Pack an empty water bottle. That's right, TSA doesn't care if you bring an empty bottle through security. And once you're through, you can fill it up at a water fountain, a coffee shop, or even one of those fancy water bottle refill stations that are popping up everywhere. This hack is especially clutch on those long-haul flights where they hit you up for $5 every time you need a sip of water. Plus, here's a bonus tip. Some international airports even have hot water dispensers. Perfect for making tea, soup, or even just a cup of instant coffee on a long layover. So next time you're packing your bags, remember the empty water bottle hack. It's a small change that can make a big difference in your comfort and your wallet. Shh! The secret sleep spots hiding in plain sight at airports. Let's be real, airport layovers can be brutal. Delayed flights, missed connections. Sometimes you feel like you're living in the terminal, and finding a decent place to catch a few winks? Forget about it. Or so you thought. See, most people don't realize that some airports actually have hidden sleeping areas. We're talking about quiet zones with comfy chairs, maybe even some nap pods if you're lucky. These little oases are often tucked away in corners, away from the hustle and bustle of the main terminal. And the best part? They're usually free to use. Now I know what you're thinking. How do you find these mythical sleep havens? It's easier than you think. Just Google your airport sleeping area or your airport quiet zone. You'd be surprised what you find. Some airports even have designated areas with reclining chairs, or even those capsule hotels where you can rent a private pod for a few hours. So next time you're facing a long layover, don't resign yourself to a night of uncomfortable sleep in a plastic chair. Do a little research, find those hidden gems, and catch some Z's in peace. All right, let's talk about freebies, because who doesn't love free stuff? Especially when you're traveling and every penny counts. Now most people know about the basics like free Wi-Fi, though let's be honest, sometimes it's faster to just use your phone's data. But there's a whole world of free goodies hiding in plain sight at airports, and most people are too shy or too clueless to ask for them. First up, amenity kits. You know, those little packages with earplugs, eye masks, sometimes even a toothbrush and toothpaste. We usually associate them with first or business class. But here's a secret. Some airlines give them out in economy too. You just gotta ask. Next time you're on a long-haul flight, especially an overnight one, ask your flight attendant if they have any amenity kits available. Worst case, they say no. Best case, you score some free goodies to make your flight a little more comfortable. And speaking of comfort, let's talk about airport shuttles. Instead of shelling out big bucks for a taxi, check if the airport offers a free shuttle service to nearby hotels or transportation hubs. You'd be surprised how many do. And while you're at it, keep an eye out for free luggage carts. Some airports, especially in the US, charge for these things, but others provide them for free near baggage claim. Just another little way to save some cash and travel like a pro. All right, let's talk about something that might just save you from a world of trouble: public USB charging stations. We've all been there, battery on 5%, desperate for a charge, and that little USB port is like a beacon of hope. But here's the thing, those public charging stations can be a hacker's paradise. I'm talking about something called juice jacking. It sounds like a bad energy drink, but trust me, it's way worse. Basically, hackers can rig those charging stations to install malware on your phone or even steal your data while you're blissfully unaware, charging away. Think about it. All your photos, contacts, passwords, banking info, all vulnerable while you're just trying to get enough juice to call an Uber. So what's the solution? It's simple. Avoid public charging stations like the plague. Instead, carry your own charger and use a wall outlet. Or better yet, invest in a portable power bank. They're relatively inexpensive and can give you multiple charges on the go without risking your digital life. Trust me, a little precaution can go a long way when it comes to protecting your data. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite travel topic, free flight upgrades. Who hasn't dreamt of getting bumped up to first class, sipping champagne, and enjoying that sweet, sweet legroom? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not just a fantasy. With a little bit of strategy and a whole lot of charm, you can increase your chances of scoring that coveted upgrade. First up, let's talk about the power of appearance. Now, I'm not saying you need to show up in a ball gown or a tuxedo, but dressing nicely can definitely work in your favor. Airlines often give upgrades to passengers who look the part, so ditch the sweatpants and hoodies and opt for something a little more presentable. Think business casual, like a collared shirt or blouse, nice jeans or slacks, and you're good to go. Next, the power of politeness. It might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised how far a smile and a friendly demeanor can get you. When you're checking in or at the gate, be polite to the airline staff. Ask them how their day is going, make eye contact, and if there are any upgrades available, they'll be more likely to think of you. And finally, let's talk about loyalty programs. Even if you don't fly often, signing up for an airline's loyalty program is free and can give you an edge when it comes to upgrades. Airlines often prioritize their loyal customers, so make sure you're in the system. And who knows, you might even get lucky with a surprise upgrade just for being a member. There you have it. 12 airport secrets that can make your next trip smoother, cheaper, and way more comfortable. From sneaky ways to get free stuff to hidden spots where you can actually relax, you're now armed with the knowledge to navigate those terminals like a pro. Which secret surprised you the most? The TSA scanner truth, the VIP baggage trick, the free airport lounge access? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found these hacks helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more travel tips, tricks, and adventures. Safe travels, everyone!